What's up, YouTube? This is Juggernaut097. We're guys get another video today, and today I'm going to be doing my TNA Impact review for June 17th, 2015. And yes, I know this is a late review. It's just I've been really busy doing some other things, doing other reviews for shows. I'm sorry, I haven't been up to date with my TNA, and TNA hasn't been the best for the last few weeks, in my opinion. Because I actually been watching it, it's just I really haven't been had any time to do reviews for it. But nonetheless, I'm gonna do this review right now for you guys. It's like 11:06 here at night, so. But nonetheless, let's get started with this. So first off, like it shows a little short video package for Dusty Rhodes and TNA. Like just in case you guys don't know, Dusty Rhodes was in TNA for a little bit, and I like how they did this, to pay honor to Dusty Rhodes, from him passing away. So I like that they did that. And then it shows highlights from Destination X from last week. The matches that the Kurt Angle had with Austin Aries, and the match with Rockstar Spud and EC3, and wanting his title match last week. So yeah, I liked the video package. It was good. And then it shows Mike Tenay for he was out for the contract sign because tonight they were doing the contract sign for EC3 and Kurt Angle at Bell to Bell on July 1st. And so EC3, he makes his way out to the ring, and then Kurt Angle makes his way out to the ring. EC3 says, "Ever since the first time I walked back down this ramp, I've been I've been preparing for this moment. Um, st- um, standing in front of me is the greatest wrestler who has ever lived. Kurt Angle, you were the best because you breathed the best, because you beaten the best." He says, "You beaten Heartbreak Kids, Texas Rattlesnakes, Cerebral Assassins, um, Electrifying Men. You beaten Next Big Things. Don't know what that one says. Nature Boys, and even uh, super superstar superstars that are rated R." Then he says, "You even beaten Dead Man." And then he says, "You even beaten someone you can't see," which I like when he was doing this, because he pretty much was pretty much wasn't saying the people's names. He was like nicknaming them because they had like nicknames for him. And he's always complimenting to WWE. He was talking about WWE when when he wasn't actually saying their name. So I kind of like that. And pretty much they all have one thing in common, that they all been beaten. And then pretty much he says that you beat phenomenal ones, you beat charismatic enigmas, you beat King of the Mountains. And then Kurt Angle gets on the mic and he says that, you know what? Um, he asked Mike tonight. He goes like, how much have these have I been to? How much have these have I been to? He goes like, have I been to 100 of these? He goes like, then Angle says, do you know? He says, do you know why that is important? Because I've been here before. He says, the big fights were made for Kurt Angle. Then Angle says, you are very talented. Then he goes on to say, you think because you undefeated, you should be world champion? And he says, you have no idea. And he goes like, and people you have beaten, Bully Ray, Mr. Anderson, Sting. And then EC3 says, and you. And Angle goes like, yes, and me. And then he says, that that was then, this is now. He goes like, then Angle says, he goes like, I'm healthy now, I don't, he says, I still think I'm the greatest wrestler alive. And then Angle says that, what happens when you lose? He says, you're gonna look yourself in the mirror and you won't be able to regret. Like you won't be able to it's gonna haunt you pretty much for the rest of your life. Pretty much tells him good luck for, you know, tells him good luck, and he goes like the person who you'll be facing tonight, he is a former MMA fighter. He's a former world champion. He is the um was like I wrestled against him. He is the destroyer, Bobby Lashley. So yeah, and then Bobby Lashley comes out. He points to EC3. So yeah, that was that. And then next week, it shows that there's going to be an X Division Championship match. It's going to be a triple threat match. It's going to be Loki versus Tigre Uno versus Grado. So that's going to be interesting. And then it shows highlights of the best of 5 series for the tag titles. And so that was pretty cool. Shows the first 3 matches. And then the Wolves come out to the ring. Davey Richards says, for everyone watching at home, like we came out here and you hear our Wolves Nation chant for us when they say Wolves, Wolves, Wolves. That's because since day one, I don't even know what it says. That's because since day one, ever since like we, fought in the dojos pretty much, fought in Mexico, that we wanted to be the best tag team in the world pretty much. And he goes like, that's pretty much why we're here in TNA to be the best tag team. And then he goes like, the reason why we pretty much signed up for this the best of 5 series with the Dirty Heels, because to figure out which the best tag team is. And then, then he goes on. David Richards says that what, we're not gonna lose to, you know, you guys pretty much made up your names for yourself. The Dirty Heels. For what you did last week when you took a chair to Eddie Edwards' back and low blowed him. That pretty much lived up to your guys' name. And then Eddie Edwards gets on the mic. He pretty much says that, let's get match 4 going right now. Get out here, Dirty Heels. And then Dirty Heels music hits, and only Bobby Roode comes out. He pretty much says that, you know what, Austin Aries is not here tonight. He says that Austin Aries is not here tonight, and he says that you guys trying to call the shots. No, you guys don't call the shots. And he goes like, Austin Aries had a great match with Kurt Angle, one of the best matches of the year, he says, which I do have to agree was one of the best matches of the year. And then, what else happened during this? I'm trying to think. Then after that, we had, oh yeah, and then Rude says, no, I'm not going to be facing you guys. Oh wait, now I remember. Then Eddie Edwards says, you know what? Hey, since you're ready to fight, how about you fight me tonight? How about you fight one of us? Because we want to kick your ass pretty much. You're ready to fight. And then Rude goes like, you want to fight me? You want to fight me? You want to fight me? And he goes like, no, you guys don't get to fight me. And he turns around and goes like, wait, let's make the antes a little higher. Let's make the stakes a little higher for next week. So he goes like, so if you beat me, you guys get to pick the stipulation. But if I beat you, this is what Bobby was saying. If I beat you, I get to pick the stipulation. And then David Richards goes like, you're on. Like we don't care what type of stipulation you pick. So Eddie Edwards goes like, you know what? Let me handle this fight. This is my fight because he took a steel chair back to my back and wanted to low blow me, so I'm facing you tonight. So for the first match tonight we had was Eddie Edwards versus Bobby Roode, and this was a pretty good match. I actually enjoyed this. Probably one of the best matches of the night. Well, there were not very much matches. Most of these were segments and stuff. So yeah, Eddie Edwards hits a nice suicide dive on Roode during the match. Eddie Edwards hits a lot of chops on He hits a lot. Eddie Edwards hits a lot of chops on Bobby Roode during the match, and then he hit a nice like a kick to the knee, and then he hit a knee to the face. Yeah, he hit like a knee to the face of Roode, and then Roode hit a front face suplex. Eddie Edwards hit a nice running kick. Eddie Edwards was doing a lot of chops in the corner during this match. Roode was going for a like Roode bomb, but Eddie Edwards countered it. Roode went for the like top rope, and Eddie Edwards kicked him in the head, kicked him inside of the head. Eddie Edwards hit a backpack type of like sit down type of move. I like that. That's pretty cool. And then Eddie Edwards went for the double foot stomp, but Roode moved out of the way. And then Roode hit a nice spine buster. Then Roode spit in the face of Davey Richards, and Davey Richards hopped up on the apron, and he tried to hold tried to hold the referee tried to hold Davey Richards back, and then um, Bobby Roode, he was calling down for someone. I don't know who he's calling down for, but he was calling down for Austin Aries, and Austin Aries brought out a steel chair, tried to do what he did last week, try to cheat to win, but um, uh, Bobby Roode, he went to swing at him with a chair, went to swing at Eddie Edwards with a chair, but Eddie Edwards ducked and rolled him up to the schoolboy and rolled him up for the 1, 2, 3. So the winner of the match was Eddie Edwards, and pretty much after the match, the Wolves say next week they're going to be facing them in a Full Metal Mayhem match. So that match is going to be really fun. So it's going to be Dirty Hills versus the Wolves in a Full Metal Mayhem match. So I think that the Wolves are going to pick up the win here and finally end the series with this. But this was pretty awesome. I like this. I'm looking forward to next week. This next week's going to be pretty awesome for TNA. So yeah. And then next we had was JB. JB, he interviewed Bram's opponent for tonight, which was Joseph Parks. Like, oh jeez, I thought this character was dead. Like I thought they killed off this character. But Park came out. He said that it's no secret that it's been hard times. He goes like, hey, you know what? That could be a new name for me. Hard times, Joseph Park. I think that's what he called himself. Yeah, that's what he called himself. And he goes like, you know what? He doesn't have his power like his attorney anymore. He's not an attorney anymore. He lost everything. He said that he lost his spot on the Impact roster and the rest of his savings. That video thing they did with Tao, which I forgot about Tao, which I don't want to freaking remember Tao anymore. And he goes like, you know what? Last week I heard Bram talking about how he's gonna face former stars of you know, Impact, former people of Impact. So he was like, you know what, this could help out my career again. This could make me become a star again. I could be the guy on top. And then JB goes like, no, it's the man on, like, it's the top guy. Yeah, he goes like, it's the top guy. He goes like, you know what, then Joseph Park goes like, this ain't an English lesson. He goes like, where's the ring at? And then JB shows him where the ring is at. So yeah, the next match we have is Joseph Park versus Bram. I thought this was a weird match. I thought this was kind of confusing a little bit because during the match, like Bram, he brought out weapons during this match, and like I thought this was weird because Earl Hebner, he didn't disqualify him. Like he hasn't disqualified anyone in the year of 2015, which I thought is kind of weird. But before the match started, Joseph Park on the mic, and he was like, "You're a big guy, Bram," and blah blah blah. I can't remember really what he said, but Bram attacked him after that. Bram hit a nice like clothesline and just started punching Park in the head. Then Bram went to go out for a chair, but Park took took him down and just started punching him. And then he grabbed a chair, but Bram hit him from behind. And then Bram then got under the ring and got a candlestick and got a table. And then Park hit a low blow on Bram. Um, and then he goes down. And I don't really understand like why or Hebner didn't call a disqualification there. I thought he would have, but he didn't, which was kind of weird. But yeah, then grabs the kendo stick and starts whacking it on Bram. But the winner of the match was Bram. He wins by like his spear. He spears Joseph Park through a table. So yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't bring Joseph Park back. And there was like no DQ during this match. So yeah, that was that. And then next we had was Taryn Terrell. She was backstage, like with the pillows and stuff backstage, in their dollhouse area, and the dollhouse music was playing in the background. Taryn Terrell, she pretty much says, "I love playtime." He says, "Brooke, Awesome Kong, I've got a little game just to show you, just to show you how fair I am." And then she says, "You both want a title shot? You both want a shot at my title? Well, if you both beat Jade and Marty Bell tonight, then you get a shot at my title." Which then she goes like, "Well, that's not going to happen. You guys aren't going to beat them." And she goes like, "If you guys lose, then you guys don't ever get a title shot." So, yeah. And she goes like, "Well, it's double or nothing. We're playing a little game, double or nothing, pretty much." That's what she said. So yeah. And then then the next match we had was a Knockouts tag team match: the Dollhouse, Jade and Marty Bell versus Brooke and Awesome Kong. Um, before the match, before the match started, the Dollhouse they jumped Brooke, and then um, Awesome Kong didn't make her entrance yet. They kept beating up on Brooke, and then Awesome Kong made her way out to the ring, and then Awesome Kong she just took out Jade and Marty Bell, and Taryn Terrell she attacked Awesome Kong during the match. I go like, well, why wouldn't the referee call a disqualification? I thought that was weird. But Jade and Marty Bell, they just pretty much dominated Brooke during the whole match. They cheated during the whole match. But like when Awesome Kong got in the ring, she hit some pretty big moves on them. She tried to go for like an implant buster, but Jade got interrupted. I don't remember which one interrupted actually, but she hit like a suplex on both of them together, and she was just fired up like when she came into the ring. And then but the ending came when Awesome Kong tagged in. Awesome Kong tagged in Brooke, and then Brooke was on the shoulders of um, Awesome Kong, and she did an elbow drop on Awesome Kong. So no, she didn't do an elbow drop on Awesome Kong. She did an elbow drop on. Let me figure out who it was again. She did an elbow drop on. I think it was. I think it was Marty Bell, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was Marty Bell. She did a elbow drop on Marty Bell for the win. So we got new number one contenders for the Knockouts Championship. It's going to be a triple threat. Probably that's going to be happening at Slammiversary. I mean, there's not much matches that have been announced for Slammiversary, and Slammiversary is next Sunday on pay-per-view. So yeah. And then next we had Chris Melendez. He came out to the ring. Chrissy Hemme was interviewing him during in the ring. Chris he's pretty much in the ring. Chris says that at Hardcore War Eric Young ripped off my leg, and when he did that, he just did. He didn't just um, disrespect me, but he disrespected the people in uniform, the men and women in uniform, fighting for this country and the flag that respects. And he was like, the flag that respects the country. Then he says, "And I know I have a lot of oncome. I have a lot of oncome, but I'm going to be here for week after week after week." Then he says, "I just want to fight. So what I am saying is, I know I got one foot in the grave. I'm standing on my last leg, but that's not going to stop me from um, over, overseeing overseas, and it's not stopping me here." Then he says, "Eric Young, get your ass out here. I want to fight now." And then Eric Young makes his way out to the ring. He goes like, "You know what? You are a true American hero, pretty much." And he goes like, "You know what? But I just don't really give a shit." That's pretty much what he says. I'm not going to talk about what Eric Young said. He was like, "Do you really want this?" He goes like, "Do you really want to face me?" He goes like, He goes like a hardcore war, that just pretty much came off the top of my head, like I didn't even think about that. He goes like, if just like you want this fight, and actually me thinking about what I'm gonna do to you, it was like, you be 1-on-1 like next week with you one leg, and he goes like he's pretty much gonna beat um Eric Young pretty much said that he's gonna beat his ass, and he goes like, what, you are, and then Chris Mullins goes like, you are right about two things. You are right that you're at the top of the, you know, TNA, at the top of wrestling, pro wrestling. Like he says, like up here, he goes like, I'm at the bottom. That's what Chris Mullins said, and he goes like, but, and you're right with everything. I do want my revenge on you, and I am gonna kick your ass next week. So yeah, that was that. And then next we got Jesse Connors versus DJZ. This is pretty much a squash match. DJZ, he went right after Jesse, and then DJZ went for like a hurricanrana, but Jesse Connors hit a power bomb, but Jesse Connors wins by like the Boston Crab. So yeah, that was sad. And then next, oh my God, this was segment. I did not like this. I don't really want to talk about this either, but I will. Magnus comes out and he says, I'm going to start cracking heads if you don't come out to face me. He's pretty much talking about James Storm. And he then says Storm, I'm I'm not leaving this ring. I'm not leaving this building. I'm not leaving this state. I'm not leaving this state until you show your rat's bastard face. And he says, I swear, because these security guards came out, and he goes like, I swear, if anybody of you touch me, I will beat, I will break, beat you up right now. And then he goes like, then security started getting in the ring. He goes like, Dixie, I'm not giving this show back until James Storm comes out. And then James Storm makes his way out to the ring, and then he goes like, pretty much tells that, Mick, you tried to warn, Mickey that I'm a bad guy. You try to warn these people that I'm a bad guy. But he goes like, what, that made you look like a bad guy because, you made you look like a jealous one. He goes like, because you're jealous of, the attention that Mickey James was getting by another guy. And then James Storm, like, during the segment, he brought out like a stroller, and he took Magnus Kid. I thought this was very stupid. I didn't like this segment. And he goes like, what? I'm not gonna touch. He was like, I would never touch a child. But the thing is, this is pretty much for like insurance policy to make sure you don't do anything stupid. But Magnus pretty much wanted to go after James Storm during the segment, but the security guards kept trying to hold off Magnus, but Magnus finally broke through the security guards, and then he went right after him, and then security grabbed him again, and then he broke right back through security. And then finally Magnus had enough and just beat up the security guards, and then James Storm pushed the stroller off the stage, and Magnus picks up the baby, and it was just a doll. I'm like, geez, that is stupid. I did not like the segment at all. So yeah, it was a stupid, very pointless segment. So yeah. And then moving on to the main event, we have is EC3 with Tyrus versus Bobby Lashley. This was pretty much a handicap match. I did not really like this match at all. EC3 hit like a good drop kick during this match off like the apron. EC3 hit a good like snap suplex on the floor. Then Tyrus, he handed EC3 a chair, but or Hebner took the chair away during the match. Um, During the match, Tyrus, he kept trying to wedge this chair into the corner. Um, and then Lashley hit a power slam, and Lashley hit a nice spine buster. Lashley went for a spear, but he ran into the corner, ran to the corner. EC3 hit a nice DDT. EC3 was going for the 1%er, but Lashley counters it and pushes EC3 into Earl Hebner, and Hebner takes a really bad bump out to the side of the ring, and then not EC3. Lashley was trying to pin EC3, but um, the referee was down, and or Hebner was down, and Titus gets in the ring, does an elbow drop on Lashley, and then EC3. I mean, Titus puts EC3 on top of Lashley, and then the referee comes out. I think it was Brian Hebner, and then Lashley kicks out too, and then Titus beats up or Brian Hebner, and then he does what? Oh yeah, he does. What does he do? Oh, he does like a move like I don't remember what he did. Like he did this move onto Lashley, and then Stifler comes out, and then Lashley kicks out too again, and then he beats up Tyrus beats up Stifler, and he hits him with a spike, and then um, Tyrus was getting ready to do a move on Lashley, but Lashley hits him with a spear, and then EC3 was outside the ring, and he brought back in a steel chair and hit the steel chair on. He hit the steel chair on Lashley, and then EC3 hit the 1%er for the win. So EC3 is still undefeated to this day, and I have a really good feeling that he's going to be winning at bell to bell. So yeah, so he's still undefeated. Like I said, this felt like a handicap match in my opinion. This show was not very good. Like this felt promo heavy, but yeah. But next week, EC3. But next week on Impact, EC3 is going to be choosing Kurt Angle's next opponent, and the fourth match of the best of five series, the Dirty Hills versus the Wolves, is going to be happening in a Full Metal Mayhem match. Then we got not Jesse. We got EC Eric Young versus Sergeant Chris Melendez. So yeah, next week looks like a pretty good Impact so far. So yeah, if this is your first time ever checking out one of my videos, please smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the True JSB. Again, it's at the True JSB, and pretty much Juggernaut saying peace out. I'll catch you guys in my next video. So peace out.